What kind of protections do I have when I disclose my LD?
The idea of protections when you disclose your learning disability are those that fall under the Americans with Disabilities Act. And that is a very comprehensive set of provisions under the law of the ADA that was passed in 1990. So it's been around for quite some time, and hopefully it's taken place in the workplace with a lot of understanding and a lot of experience. The idea then, however, is that you have protections if you say, I have a learning disability, and then you should know that there can be no discrimination on the basis of that disability. And then once you are able to identify or to make sure that you show that you have the essential functions to do the job that you're hired for, and therefore also with that have the opportunity to be to have the best reasonable accommodations for your particular job, that's the kind of thing that you want. So one of the things that, however, to keep in mind is that you get protections by asking, by saying and revealing that you have a learning disability, by knowing that there's an Americans with Disabilities Act, but one proviso is sometimes the organization or the employer might say, can I have some validation or verification that, or documentation that you have a learning disability, to make sure that then in fact you do have that, and then you are in fact learning disabled, and then that might be part of the conversation before you start out. So the idea then is protections all fall under the law, and then once you do that, there can't be any discrimination as a result of having a learning disability, but that does not get you off the hook in terms of being able to do the job that you have to do, and that you're supposed to do, and that you are supposed to be qualified to do. The idea then is maybe 3 months, 6 months into your job, that you have a performance evaluation and hear how you're doing, that you're receptive to what you're hearing, and you can remediate what the issues are that may not be working out, or you know how to build on those that are successful within that. But again, the idea about protections is just because you have a learning disability does not mean that you automatically keep the job or you should get the job. You still have to prove yourself and be receptive to any of the kinds of suggestions that any employer would give any employee. Again, however, there has to be some sort of understanding about what you can do and the reasonable accommodations, and maybe added accommodations that can help you do better. But all in all, that's what it's all about. The most important thing to know, however, is it all falls under the Americans with Disabilities Act, and there are only protections if you reveal that you have a learning disability. If you have one and you don't say it, then no one knows it, and you are looked upon as being an employee like everyone else, and then therefore you are not fall under any kinds of protections or anything other than what everybody else falls under in a particular work setting.